Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 40 years. I'm going through the text starting this year, reading a paragraph or two at a time and asking Jesus to clarify for me. And then I write from that clarity, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. So let's get started. I'm reading in chapter 1, section 7, Distortions of Miracle Impulses. And we're on paragraph 2 today. Child of God, you were created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. Do not forget this. The love of God for a while must be expressed through one body to another because vision is still so dim. You can use your body best to help you enlarge your perception so you can achieve real vision of which the physical eye is incapable. Learning to do this is the body's only true usefulness. Thus far, what I've learned here in this first part of the course is that I am a child of God, created in his image. Thus, I am a creator as well. I create as God creates, that is, as an extension of what I am, love. Or as stated here, I am created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. This is what I want to remember. Because I've chosen to experience separation, my vision is too dim to create in this way. And so for now, I express this love of God from one body to another. I do this until vision has increased. I do this through enlarging my perception and learning to see not with the body's eyes, but with true vision. Another way to think of this is that I do this through learning to perform miracles. Here's an example of what this looks like to me in my life. One night, I spent the evening with my daughter, Susan. We had a regular date for Monday nights, and sometimes we would meet at a restaurant, but often I would cook supper at my house, and that's what we did that night. We ate supper and shared our life stories. Then Susan sat with me as I packed for the coming week, and it turned into a dress-up party. Susan has an artist's eye and is very creative. She helped me put together some outfits differently in a way I would never have occurred to me. It was like I was going shopping and being surprised with what I found, but better because I never left my room and I didn't have to spend any money. She also helped me to go through my clothes and decide if they look good on me or if I should give them away, which is very helpful because I have a hard time deciding. Sometimes I become confused about what clothes are for and keep them because I don't feel I got my money's worth or because I paid too much to admit I don't really like them. We laughed as Susan pointed out that I have a very complicated relationship with my clothes. I told her that obviously I needed to forgive those clothes and my relationship with them because there was entirely too much guilt involved. It was a very lighthearted and humorous exchange, and yet it was also true, an example of guilt coming forward so I could forgive it. It was also an example to me of how easy it is to enlarge my perception when I have one unified goal. My goal is to forgive the world and awaken to the truth. So even a fun evening ending with an offhand remark becomes a way to do that. Susan and I have always loved each other very much, but for a long time, my relationship with her was like my relationship with my clothes. It was very complicated. There was a lot of guilt in the relationship, which kept me from fully enjoying her company. This is true of all my relationships, not just my relationship with Susan. As long as I believe in guilt, it will show up everywhere. The guilt showed up as a response to my belief that I made mistakes raising her. I projected guilt into the relationship in many ways. I would say something to her and watch her respond. And because guilt was in my mind, I would perceive her response as a judgment of what I said. I loved her and wanted to be with her, but it was hard because I was a regular projecting machine. I saw Susan as a problem. I told myself that she was just too hard to be with because I never knew what was going to set her off. It's really funny now to look back on that and see how turned around I had it. Everything I saw in her was actually coming from my own mind. When I thought she was hard to be with, it was actually me that was hard for me to be with. As I forgave myself and forgiveness became the way I live, my perception of Susan and everyone else shifted. My perception expanded and my vision changed. Now, even if Susan were to respond with apparent judgment, it does not trigger anything in me. I know that it is about her, not about me. Because I know this, my reaction is more loving. I don't need anything from her. So I don't expect her to be in a good mood all the time. And if she's not in a good mood, it doesn't affect my feelings about myself. This healing of my own mind makes a whole different experience of being with Susan. I know that this change is about my expanded perception because Susan has not changed. She's the same delightful person she always was. It's just that now I see her perfection clearly because forgiveness has purified my vision. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you found it helpful, please like it. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with another reading. See you then.